Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. For those who happen to be new, welcome. I am Mark the Great, and today, as you know from the title, I'll be going over my top 10 best quarterbacks in NFL history. Now, I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long like my last top 10 video and my other ones before that, so I'll be styling this video a little bit differently here. I am going to give a small description of each player's career and accomplishments, along with records and along with some impact. This way, this video won't be too long and you can get along with anything else you are doing. Also, I want to let you know that this is my opinion. Each pick is based off accomplishments, their throwing ability, and the impact for that said player, and also how much I would want that said player to be on my team or reliability. However, I would like to hear your top 10 list in the comment section below, and also I want to hear about the people I could have happily left out and what you think of the list as well. If you have not already left a like on this video, that'd be much appreciated, and if you happen to be new here, then consider subscribing to the channel for weekly content of NFL history. Also, big shout out to GCV Happy for recommending this video idea to me. I wanted to get this video out a little earlier, but I was on the finals grind. But anyways, go and thank him if you see him in the comments section anyways. And with all that out of the way, onto the top 10. Now, first, I want to go over two honorable mentions because there are a lot of great quarterbacks I want to mention. But of course, I only have 10 real spots to work with. This is also the hardest list I ever had to make on this channel so far, and as it took me 3 days to make this so-called perfect list. So try to bear with me here. My first honorable mention will go to Terry Bradshaw and Fran Tarkenton. Now, this is my only tie, so don't worry about all that. But I wanted to mention Fran Tarkenton because he was the first to implement the scrambling playstyle and was very good at it, as well as he is in the Hall of Fame and known as the finest quarterback in Vikings history. Now, as far as for Terry Bradshaw, I want to put him on this list solely for the rings he won with Pittsburgh, as I see him as one of the most overrated quarterbacks ever and deserves no spots on this list in my opinion, but he deserves at least some mention. My last honorable mention will go to Drew Brees. Now, originally I had him in the top 5, but due to a lack of rings and no MVPs, and he was never considered the best during his playing time, I moved him down to an honorable mention spot. But Brees had a huge impact on the Saints as he made them an offensive powerhouse, and his stats are fantastic, so he definitely deserves a mention here. Now that the honorable mentions are through, on to the list. Coming in at the number 10 spot here is going to be Steve Young. Now, I really like Steve Young, and he was extremely underrated during his playing time in San Francisco. Young has won 2 MVP awards, has been a 3-time first team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, and has thrown for over 33,000 yards and 232 touchdown passes. Not to mention, Steve Young was a laser, completing 64.3% of his passes, which is not only completely insane. Young has also won 1 Super Bowl as a starter and has won 3 overall. The only reason why he's number 10, the only reason, was because he spent most of his time behind the bench. Now, if he played his whole career, he would have over 50,000 yards and 300 plus touchdowns, but only because of his time playing, he's at the number 10 spot. At the number 9 spot is going to be Otto Graham. Now, Otto Graham was a beast back in the 40s and the 50s and made a dynasty with his time with the Cleveland Browns. Otto Graham, or also known as Automatic Otto, only played for 10 seasons, and he has led the Browns to 10 consecutive NFL championship appearances and winning 7 of them. That is so crazy how someone can appear back-to-back NFL championship appearances for a whole decade. That is completely mind-boggling to me, but that is not the only impressive thing Otto Graham has done. Graham is a 5-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and has thrown for over 23,000 passing yards and 174 touchdowns. Otto Graham is on this list mostly because he is a pure winner. He has won 57 games and has only lost 13 times his whole career. That is something I cannot ignore, so Otto Graham is number 9. The number 8 spot will go to Johnny Unitas. Johnny Unitas, or aka Johnny U, is known by many to be the godfather of the quarterback position, and for a great reason. Unitas was not only a pure winner, but he put up crazy numbers and played for 18 years, which is completely unheard of back in the day. Not only that, he was part of what many fans say was the greatest football game of all time, which would happen to be the 1958 NFL Championship game, where many say that the 2-minute drill was formed. Unitas also has the record for the most games where he threw at least 1 touchdown pass, which was a record that held for a while until it was broken by Drew Brees. Overall, Unitas has thrown for over 40,000 passing yards and almost 300 touchdown passes, and is a 10-time Pro Bowler and a 4-time All-Pro, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. Coming in at the number 7 spot will go to John Elway. John Elway is known as the greatest pure quarterback in the history of the Broncos, as Elway has brought them to 5 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowl wins against the Packers and the Falcons, and both of those wins came back to back. With that, another big thing to mention here when talking about John Elway is his clutch gene. Many Broncos fans know this due to a famous game known as The Drive, which for those who don't know was the 1986 AFC Championship game. I recommend those who did not see that whole drive, go and watch it because it's precision quarterback play at its finest. John Elway has amassed 51,475 yards and 300 touchdowns. Elway has been to the Pro Bowl 9 times and is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, the number 6 spot will go to Dan Marino. Dan Marino was a straight up animal with the Miami Dolphins for most of his career. He set a lot of records during his career and led one of the best offensive teams of all time in 1984. Not only that, he threw a record 5,084 yards and a record 48 touchdowns in his sophomore season. Marino is a fantastic passer and broke many career passing records when he retired in 2000. He is well known for high precision passing and excellent use of the back shoulder fade. His fantastic throwing ability made up for his lack of speed. Marino has thrown for over 61,000 passing yards, 420 touchdown passes. He is a 9-time Pro Bowler and a 1984 MVP, a 3-time All-Pro, and is inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2005. His mediocre playoff record is the biggest reason why he's not top 5 in my opinion, but he deserves the number 6 spot on this list. Now, here we are in the top 5, and the number 5 spot goes to Brett Favre. Favre is known by many as the best gunslinger of all time, and I actually agree with this statement here. Favre was a fantastic quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, as he has won 3 MVPs. He's an 11-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2016. Favre is 4th all-time in passing yards with over 71,000 passing yards and over 500 touchdown passes. Now, a lot of people would say that he threw 336 interceptions, but that's just how gunslingers operate, and more often than not, Favre would make the big play needed to win the game. Another thing Favre has that a lot of quarterbacks do not have, especially nowadays, is toughness. Favre is extremely tough, and he has the record for the most consecutive starts, and that's a record that will never ever be broken. Along with his leadership abilities, makes him a top-end quarterback and number 5 on this list. Not to mention, he does have a Super Bowl in 1996 and went to back-to-back Super Bowls in 1996 and in 1997. Now, the number 4 spot is going to be a big shock to a lot of you, and 98% of the people do not either have this player on their list or at least not as high on their list, but I do, so here we go. Number 4 spot is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers is the best thrower of the football in NFL history, no questions asked. No quarterback can bend and twist and squeeze the ball in the entire spots than Rodgers. His awareness in the pocket is also the best by a lot as well. Rodgers also has a turnover ratio of around 5-1, which is the best I have ever seen. Rodgers is a 7-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time All-Pro and has won the NFL MVP 2 times. He has amassed so far 46,204 yards and 361 touchdown passes. Honestly, I can talk about how great Rodgers is for the next 20 minutes, but I don't really need to. Actually, if you have not already checked my Aaron Rodgers versus Brett Favre video, then I will leave a card with the playlist to the whole series so far so you can watch it yourself. Anyway, let's move on. The number 3 spot will go to Peyton Manning, or otherwise known as the Sheriff. Peyton Manning is considered to be the best regular season quarterback in NFL history, as when he retired, he has broken so many NFL records that it's hard to keep track. He has over 71,000 plus passing yards and a record 5 MVP awards. He is a 14-time Pro Bowler and a 7-time first-team All-Pro, and has thrown a record of 539 touchdown passes and has 3 Super Bowl appearances along with 2 Super Bowl wins. There is not really much else to say here. I mean, the only reason why he's number 3 is the fact that he has not had a whole lot of playoff success. Coming in at the number 2 spot will be Joe Montana. Now, a lot of people really should have been expecting this because Joe Montana was known actually as the GOAT of the quarterback position for the longest time, as he has won 4 Super Bowls and went there 4 times. So basically, he's 4-0 in the Super Bowl. Montana was also the head of one of the biggest football dynasties in NFL history, being the mid-80s 49ers. Montana has amassed almost 41,000 passing yards and 273 touchdown passes. He is a 2-time MVP, an 8-time Pro Bowler, and a 3-time All-Pro, and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2000. Now, the biggest thing he was known for was being cool when the pressure was on, hence why he got the nickname Joe Cool. And that aspect of play is very important for a leadership position because it sets the tone for that team and its big success, and Joe Montana represented that perfectly. Now, the number 1 spot, and this is a surprise to completely no one, is going to be Tom Brady. Now, I am not going to talk about this too much because you already know how Tom Brady is the GOAT. I mean, he has thrown for over 72,000 passing yards and counting, which is 2nd all time. He has 6 Super Bowl championships and 9 appearances, which is just completely insane. And not only that, he is a 14-time Pro Bowler, 3-time MVP, and a 3-time All-Pro. Tom Brady also led arguably the best offense of all time in 2007. You know, to be honest, you guys already know how great Tom Brady is, so I'll just stop right here and and conclude the list. Alright everybody, this marks the end of this list. What do you think of the list? Do you mostly agree with it or not? Comment that down below and tell me your list of the best QBs of all time. And also don't forget to leave a like on this video, as that'd be much appreciated. And if you happen to be new here, then consider subscribing to the channel, as we are going pretty fast and you do not want to miss out on weekly videos. Anyways, that will be all. Peace out and thank you for watching. Have a great day.